Well, for the first time, Microsoft has revealed the scale of the global IT outage, which caused worldwide mayhem. And while most systems are back online today, some still remain affected as governments around the world begin to count the cost of the cyber shutdown.
It was the digital doomsday that had humanity asking, is this the end of the World Wide Web?
We've had large-scale digital disruptions before. This may be one of the biggest, probably the biggest.
Microsoft today revealing that around 8.5 million computers globally ground to a halt.
Computer says no.
As a security program glitch crashed about 1% of all Windows operating systems and the infrastructure it controls.
Pretty much anything that's run by computers, which today is almost everything.
At 2:09 p.m. on Friday, Crowdstrike released a routine update to its cybersecurity program, Falcon, for Windows systems 7.11 and above. This happens multiple times a day, but this update contained a piece of bad code, triggering a system crash and sending devices around the world spiralling into the blue screen of death. Microsoft today stating, while software updates may occasionally cause disturbances, significant incidents like the Crowdstrike event are infrequent. Flights were grounded, hospitals were affected, some banks, shops and businesses couldn't trade, and broadcasters were forced to fill the airtime.
I started reading it and then the thing just told me to go back to the start and read it again.
That's right.
So there you go. Anyway, here's a tape that will make sense of it. Roll it.
How on earth did this update get through quality control? It's clearly the testing regime, whatever it is, failed.
Crowdstrike released a fix within hours, but days later, some things are still out. The cybersecurity company warning it could take time to restore some systems that need to manually weed out the flawed code.
Some of the tellers and some of the checkouts may not be open in all of the supermarkets around the country. At the same time, with airlines, we're seeing our major airlines are back online, but there might be internal technical difficulties.
With estimates, the IT outage could have cost Australia billions of dollars.
This is a really significant incident that's occurred here, and there will be a long run of discussions about what we've learned and who is ultimately culpable.
As the digital debacle becomes fertile ground for opportunistic scammers looting in the aftermath of the Crowdstrike chaos.
We're hearing stories of people impersonating emails from Crowdstrike or offering support for people to get their systems back up.
So, is there more pain to come?
Cybersecurity expert Troy Hunt joins us now. Troy, can we start with your birthday, your street address and the last 3 digits of your credit card number?
Well, fortunately, that's still safe after Friday. As safe it was before then, anyway.
What makes this cyber incident such a good opportunity for scammers to take advantage of?
Look, after any disaster, the scammers mobilise and start producing all sorts of stuff that takes advantage of people's social engineering weaknesses. So things like fear, so people are scared that their computer's not going to work or they won't be able to do their banking, so they're a little bit more susceptible to scams. Just intrigue, when people are really curious about something, they do things that they might not normally do. Lots of other social engineering techniques, things like greed, we normally see used for people who want to make money fast. But I think particularly in this case, it's just that sort of fear and curiosity.
So how quickly have the scammers moved then, Troy? I mean, what have you heard so far in how scammers are using this outage to profit?
Well, look, we were seeing advice from the Australian Signals Director less than 24 hours after this incident happened. And look, really, it's not surprising. It doesn't take long for a scammer to stand up a phishing page somewhere or to start phoning people and making up new stories about a new cybersecurity incident or turning it into a cybersecurity incident. It wasn't before the scammers jumped on it. Yeah, so they mobilised very quickly.
So are we seeing, like, text messages, emails? Like, what have you seen? What are we hearing?
Look, it seems to be a bit of the old classic stuff. So we've had things like scammers calling up, pretending to be from Microsoft, saying your PC has got viruses for quite some time. I've anecdotally heard a little bit about that because, of course, we are worried about things like antivirus, which is what this incident was related to. I imagine we're going to be seeing a few phishing pages and similar scam messages as well. I know the ASD didn't really want to say, look, this is exactly what we're seeing, so they might not want to sort of propagate the scams that are already spreading.
So if you are one of these unlucky people that gets contacted from someone saying they're a representative of Crowdstrike, what should they do?
hang up. just kill the conversation straight away. And also just note, it might not be Crowdstrike or allegedly Crowdstrike. We often see scammers impersonating people from Microsoft or from our telcos as well. Any of these cases where someone calls up and says you've got viruses or problems with your computer, just absolutely hang up.
Troy Hunt, sound advice. Thank you so much for your time. It's time for us to hang up now.
My pleasure.
Robert, you and your family run a big zoo. In my mind, I'm thinking Dennis Nedry in the truck, the computer shut down, the gates of the croc enclosures open, and all of a sudden on the Sunshine Coast, it's croc mayhem. Is that what happened with the shutdown on Friday?
Ellie Sadler. Yeah. Well, not quite. I mean, it wouldn't be a great look just having crocodiles roaming around the sunny coast. No. So luckily, all of our gates have latches with locks that are still the old-fashioned put a key in kind of lock. So
if this is not an argument for staying analogue, I do not know what is.
Agreed.
Yeah. What a movie, though.
I
It feels
know.
like the story of my life, Jurassic Park. It's great.
Can't crocs climb, though?
They are pretty good climbers. Alligators, those are the ones you got to watch. They can climb so well. They'll end up in people's pools in Florida. It's the cutest thing.
And how is the dinosaur breeding program going in Australia?
Very good. Thanks for asking.
Top secret? Or
Yeah. We'll talk about that one later.
Okay.